Okay, so I'm officially rather stumped on what I thought was going to be like a 5-minute installation of switching out the ignition barrel for the Woodcraft keyless ignition. And I'm wondering if anybody's done this before and can maybe offer me some help. So the issue I'm having is that I don't see how you can retain the gauges and install this Woodcraft piece. So this was a $61 piece that I thought was going to make my life a whole lot easier. The ignition barrel here is going to go to the green connector that's under the bike. I'll show that in a little bit. Instead, this plug here is going to replace it, and then this is going to allow a bypass. And it works. I've put it in. I just can't see how to get this attached to it. The instructions that come with it are generic for just, any bike, and they work. But I don't see how we're going to get the gauges to work, so let me bring you over here. All right, so where we have to get this to, where the ignition barrel connects to, is the green connector here. And I checked, I don't have any burn damage. This is stationary here. This is not going any further. Now the sub harness for the gauges is going to connect right here. So I'm just going to put that in there. The piece that the Woodcraft is going to connect to, one of them, is here. And then I need to get this to the green connector in there. And it's nowhere close. I'm not really certain how to go about that. The other side the Woodcraft is going to connect into is here. So if I get those two, and I get this connected to the green connector inside, I'm all good. So what I'm thinking of doing is just taking this, cutting off the sheathing, and extending these two wires with some additional wire, just soldering in some new one. I think this is probably 18 gauge. I only have 16 gauge with me. But before I start cutting stuff apart, I figured I'd ask if anybody's doing this, because it was recommended this is like a 5-minute install. And either it isn't, or I'm missing something really, really obvious and I'm just being dumb. So if anybody has any idea on how to keep the gauges working with the Woodcraft thing, I'd really appreciate it.